Hello, how we doing? Welcome to the community, and this is everything you need to know about the Premier League. So, if you're new to football or you don't know about the English Premier League, you do not have a club to support, this is the video for you. So, let's dive right in. So, the Premier League is like how will I say it now? Is the top tier of English football. When I say top tier of English football is in tiers. We have the top tier, which is the Premier League. If you do relegate from the Premier League, you go to the Championship and you go to other lower leagues. We have League One, we have a lot of other lower leagues. You get English football is in top flight. I'm not even going to lie. You are going to see in the fifth tier, sixth tier, there are wonderful, wonderful talents there. And that's why English or England players or English football as a whole, they are having a lot of squad depth because their tiers and their leagues are really, really top notch and they are stacked. So Premier League is what? The top tier of English football you get. So there are a lot of teams in the Premier Leagues and a lot of big stars in the Premier League. Everybody, almost all footballers, wants to play in the Prem. Everybody, their dream is to what? Play in the Prem. If you ask them, what do you want to do? I want to play in the Prem. I want to play in the Prem because the Premier League is very, very competitive. That's why they say it's one of, if not the best league in the world. That's the Premier League. Why? Because your a team placed at 20 could beat a team placed at first, and it's to just be like, oh my god, you get there are lots of upsets, and yeah, the Premier League also, sorry about that. The Premier League also has dominated European football quite a lot of times. Maybe not in the last 2 decades, but previously, Premier League has dominated European competitions. You can see the likes of Liverpool. Liverpool has been a pivotal English side in European football, winning lots and lots of Champions League. Look at the miracle in Istanbul in 2005. That was a miraculous win over the great Milan. And yeah, now we also see sides like Manchester United doing great wonders, and now City are making their place now in this last decade, or in this decade that we are in European football. So let's talk sides and let's talk about the Premier League. First of all, we have 20 teams in the Premier League. We have 20 teams. 1, 2, 3, 8, number 20. Now, in these 20 teams, what happened? The first four teams who play in the Champions League is an automatic Champions League qualification. But I think that now the Premier League has gained a new one, so it's first five teams, I guess, that will play in the Champions League. Then the last three teams will do what? Will relegate. Relegate to where? The second division of English football, which is the Championship. They will relegate there. And also the top three from the Championship. Okay, top two. Let's not go there, so it's not complicated. But like the top three from Championship would get promoted to the Premier League to cover up the three that relegated. So it's highly competitive. You get. So I'm going to tell you, each team, they're going to play 38 matches. So there are 38 match weeks, and each team you get to play every week. Sometimes, European football, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup could make you not to play that week. So you could play twice a week. Maybe you play on a Monday and then you play on a Saturday. You get that could happen possibly just to keep up with the schedule that has been set for the Premier League. So you have to play 38 matches as a football team. 38 matches. Playing 38 matches is actually looking strenuous, but it's not really that. It's 38 match weeks you get. So I'm going to dive right into the clubs, and you get to pick which club you want to support or get a little knowledge about this club. So we have 20 Premier League teams, and yes, stay with me. We're going to talk about each of these clubs, a raw version of these clubs. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to be biased, although I do not like some clubs, but I'm not going to put my, my thoughts or my take about those clubs on this video. So first of all, we have Bournemouth. Bournemouth is a very, very good side. We call them the Cherries. In Bournemouth, they used to be a mid-table team. Okay, let me even give you the history of Bournemouth. Bournemouth has been that side that's relegated. They have been in Championship for so long, and then just like a movie, they got promoted to the Premier League and they stayed in the Premier League. One thing you should know is that staying in the Premier League isn't something for all clubs. We have a lot of clubs like QPR. You don't even hear about them again. These guys were in the Premier League. these guys were in the Premier League. You get a lot of clubs like that, and you are wondering and you're asking yourself, where's this club? Middlesbrough, these guys were in the Premier League. Now they are nowhere to be found. Some are not even in the championship again. They're down English football. So Bournemouth, they are a good side because they strived to come to the Premier League, and they didn't just come to the Premier League, they did stay in the Premier League. Now they're a fully blown Premier League team. When I say fully blown, they are thriving. Bournemouth has shown us times without numbers that they can do wonders. If they finished on positions that you are wondering where the big top four at. Now we have the big four, which is no longer the big four. The big four are teams that are the biggest team in the Premier League before, no longer. First of all, you have my beloved club Liverpool, then you have Manchester City, you have Manchester United, and then you have a kind of this thing within Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Yeah, that's the big four. But now it's no longer because Arsenal is number one now. Now, Bournemouth have decided that you want to win. You're not going to win every weekend, but I'll tell you for sure that Bournemouth, they are the guy that, when they play, you see that vigor. There's a lot of talent there, and people do train themselves in Bournemouth. You get in Bournemouth, you get to show your talent, why the light is shining on you, and you get to really do well there. Under Irola, they were really, really great. Now we have Bournemouth. Let me tell you players that have come from Bournemouth before we move to the next team. We have players like Semenyo, which is at City now. We have Dominic Solanke, which is at Tottenham now. We have Milos Kekes, which is at Liverpool now. We have Dean Huijsen, which is at that chill guy. Remember him? Which is where now is Madrid now. Then we have players like Zabaye, which is in PSG now, and a whole lot of other players. I mean, Bournemouth, they are stacked. Losing those players, almost all the players I mentioned, other than Solanke, they lost them in one season. But also, that did not stop them. They still had a great season. So if you want a team where you find new players, if you really, really love football, Bournemouth is for you. Now, let's talk about the next team, Arsenal. Arsenal, they are that side that do not even care about vigor. They do not care about the stylish play. They just want to win. Arsenal, they are mentality monsters. They want to win. Every which way they want to win. You get either they are winning on penalties, they don't even care. If it's penalties, they keep scoring. Are they winning? Yes. And that's what it is about Arsenal. So if you want a club that wins every which way, not they don't score a lot of goals. You can't see Arsenal scoring 5 goals in a match. Most of the time they win by a goal or two. You get that's Arsenal. They call them the corner merchants because last season they scored over 15 goals, or if I'm not mistaken, over 15 goals from corner taking, and Gabriel heading it in. They have a special corner technique from set pieces. Okay, over 15 goals from set pieces. They score free kicks. Declan Rice 2 goals against Real Madrid last season. That was insane. Then we have yeah. So that's all about Arsenal. They just want to win. Then we have next club, which is Liverpool. What is interesting about Liverpool is that Liverpool, they are an historic. Is it an historic? A historic. They are the historic side. Let me tell you something about Liverpool. When I say historic, I'm talking of they have really, really, really good history. Liverpool, they are that side that their history is second to none. Miracle in Istanbul, 2005. That was a miracle. Then what else again? 2019 or so. Was it 2019 or 2018? I think 2019. Corner taking quickly. Origi. Then we have many and many and many and many and many history about this club. Now their slogan is "You never walk alone." There is a side where you enjoy. If you are family oriented, you should be in no other club than Liverpool. We're a family. In Liverpool, everybody's a family. And one thing, the disadvantage about Liverpool is that they are not really, really competitive. You see, it's just like a family. You get, you do bad, you do good. They can scold you when you do bad, but they also love you. That's the relationship between Liverpool and their fans. Liverpool fans, they still love their players. Whether they are winning the Premier League or not, they are telling themselves, okay, you did well, but let's just try. You can still win this. They're not really putting pressure on the team, and I feel it's making them relax a bit. That's one thing about Liverpool. Let's go to the next, which is Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they're a wonderful side. Just like Bournemouth, They were a championship team, and my God, guess who brought them to the Premier League? Jack Grealish. That guy was insane at Villa. That guy was insane, and they have a very, very, very good manager. Una Emery, a very, very good manager. So if you want a side that's very competitive, they are screaming. We're not a big club. We're not those clubs that you see and say, "Oh, this is a very big club. We are going to do wonders." That's Aston Villa. Everybody, we don't pay attention to Aston Villa, but they are doing wonders every season, back to back. Aston Villa. Players that have come from there, we have wonderful players like Morgan Rogers, which is at Chelsea now. That guy is wonderful. Oli Watkins delivering every season. Every season. Aston Villa, they are the side that, these guys Arsenal do not like, because Aston Villa, they like to mess with Arsenal every time, every season. This happened in 2023, 2024 when Aston Villa did beat Arsenal. That was a wonderful win. I was like, get him. And Arsenal, they've won many Premier Leagues because of Aston Villa. So Aston Villa is like the nemesis for Arsenal. So if you don't like Arsenal, you might like Aston Villa. Then we have Brentford. Ooh. Brentford, they are also a mid-table team. When I say mid-table team, I mean teams that finish 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14. You get, they are not struggling to relegate. It's not a relegation battle for them, but they are not also struggling or striving to be in the top 4, top 5. That's Brentford. You find players like, Wissa. You find good players there. They are trying their best. Okay, no, Wissa is no longer there. I'm sorry. Wissa is at Newcastle now. But you find very good players at Brentford. Brentford, they decide that, they just want to win or draw. They hardly lose though, but if they lost, they're losing to big teams. Most of the times they win or they draw. Most draws though. Then we have Brighton. The fall of Brighton is insane. Brighton used to be that club that you do not want to mess with, because Brighton, they had players. Oh my God. This just made me remember what Brighton player did to my very own Joe Gomez, and it went online, went viral, said Ice Spice and a whole lot of that. Brighton, they are one side that you do not want to mess with. In those days, no longer now, but Brighton is a mid-table team. They produce really, really good players. Chelsea and Brighton, they are like this when it comes to the transfer market. They are brothers. Chelsea, they do not sell to Brighton. They only buy for Brighton. And Brighton, they cash out every summer from Chelsea. Let me tell you players that have come out for Brighton. We have Marc Cucurella. We have Danny Welbeck. We have, what's this guy's name again? Moses Caicedo, that was bought for a huge transfer fee. That window, I was like, oh my God. Then we have... which other players? We have lots and lots of players coming from Brighton. And Brighton is that side where you develop as a young talent, because the light is going to shine on you. And yeah, everybody's going to be looking at you. We have lots of good players now in Brighton, and we hope to see them do better this season. Then we have Coventry. Coventry was the side that won the championship last season, the lower tier I talked about earlier. And Coventry, from the little I watched them, I think they're a good side. They are the side that want to strive to win every match week, but that's the championship. The Premier League is quite different. But I think if they put that same tactics into the Premier League, they are not going to get relegated. Most of the times, many teams that promote, there's a high chance that all of them will relegate next season. But I really do see Coventry as that team that are not just going to relegate so soon or relegate that easy. Then we have Chelsea. Chelsea are a very, very good side. And one thing I'll tell you about Chelsea is that they are this team that, how will I describe them now? Okay, this is the perfect description for Chelsea. So Chelsea, they are this side that they love the little that they have. Let me tell you why. Chelsea just have 2 Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. They've not won the Premier League in how many seasons now? But you see the Club World Cup that they win, the Conference League that they've won, they don't joke with those things. They don't joke. First of all, they don't joke with their manager. No matter the manager they're giving to them, they love their golfer like mad. Like they love their golfer, and they have a really, really good fan base. And Chelsea, they have been the side that have been struggling for a lot of times. Chelsea, they've not really gone back to that form of Chelsea 2012, 2013, 11. That side of Chelsea, they've not really gone there. But recently, they've been improving. They lost Enzo Maresca, and that has been a very, very difficult time for them. And Chelsea, they are like, how will I say now? Okay, if you are the type that do not care about family, Chelsea, they are like the team that, or a person that get divorced in no time is getting remarried and is getting divorced in no time is getting remarried, getting divorced. That's Chelsea. That's the perfect description for Chelsea, because they keep losing managers and they don't even care. They just get a new one, lose managers, get a new one. It's not really healthy for them, the players and all of that. But Chelsea, they're a young side. That's one thing I must mention. They're a very young side. So if you love young, talented football, let me remove the talented, but young, vigorous football, you find it in Chelsea. They have a very good manager now, Xabi Alonso. We hope to see Chelsea do well this season. So yeah, after Chelsea, who do we have next? We have Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace. I love these guys. They're a very, very good Christian club. I'm not even going to lie. A very, very good Christian club. And you know, everything that they do, in Jesus' name we play. I love Crystal Palace. We see the likes of Lacroix, who has gone to Chelsea now. And these guys, they are decided that you know, see, if you love good football, first of all, good football, if you love players who love themselves from like deep down, if you love a house that do not have conflicts, they hardly have conflicts. If you love people that really love what they do, that's Crystal Palace. Man, I love that club. I love Crystal Palace. Like, I love Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they've had wonderful players over time. We see Zaha. Zaha at Palace was insane. Crystal Palace is like the club. If they win, okay, they win a good amount of wins. They also do have some losses, but Crystal Palace is that club that you feel at home. There's so much peace in that club, so much peace, and you have wonderful players coming from there. Even when Chalobah Jane from Chelsea to Crystal Palace, Trevor Chalobah, who is going to Como right now, that was a wonderful thing he did, and he didn't even want to go back to Chelsea. He felt at home. I've never seen any player who go to Palace and tell you, oh, I don't really love it here. Palace is the side with peace. I will call them the peaceful club. The most peaceful club in the Premier League is Crystal Palace. A lot of players are there. We have our own Mateta. James Philip Mateta. That guy is a very good striker for Crystal Palace. And yeah, we have Iberichi Eze coming from there, and our own beloved Mikel Olise coming from Crystal Palace. In Jesus' name we play. That's who they are. And then we have Everton. Whew. Let me tell you something about Everton. Everton, they are decided that, you know, they will tell you, we're not going to get relegated this season. They will play bad, but when it comes to the last 3 games of the Premier League, Everton will turn to prime Madrid, prime Barcelona. They are not losing to anybody. They are not losing. Everton just play in the Premier League to piss off players, piss off teams, and not relegate. I'm pretty sure that what they do every season when their gaffer is talking to them is, this season we give them okay, let me try again. This season we try to relegate, but we do not. Yeah, that's how that's Everton. Because a lot of times you tell yourself Everton, they're going to relegate this season. Just the final minutes or the final matches of the Premier League, they are going to turn to their prime self. Prime Everton is that side you do not want to play because their low block is insane. We always say is that Everton have 11 defenders and no strikers. That's Everton. That's who Everton is. They play low block. They concede 1 or 2 goals every match. Although they lose, they fail to score most of the times or they draw. Everton always play Liverpool in the Merseyside derby, and it's one match you do not want to miss. Everton-Liverpool. Wonderful match. Upset here and there. That's the only time that you see Everton scoring lots of goals against Liverpool only. Okay, sometimes they always... Another thing about Everton, they like to taunt the big teams. If you're a City fan, Tottenham fan, if you're a big team and you're playing against Everton, most of the times you're going to have a very hard time facing Everton. It's always a hard tackle, Everton. We have Pickford in Everton, the England goalkeeper, and that guy is a real menace. He likes to get in your head, and you know, that's Everton. Then we have Fulham. Ooh, our Snapchat boys. This is called the Snapchat team. Fulham is what? The Snapchat team. What did they do? Every season we see good players in Fulham. Fulham is just the side that, vibes. They love vibes. They love vibes. They are young, they are talented, they enjoy football, and they are really, really vibey. If you come to Snapchat, you see a lot of players on Snapchat, and they are what? Fulham players. We have the likes of Iwobi, our own Alex Iwobi from Nigeria. We have Calvin Bassey. I love that song. I'm gonna sing it very quick. I will die for you. I follow you until you love me. Calvin Bassey. That's the thing. The players, the fans, they did that song for Calvin Bassey. That's to show you how much they love their players. So Calvin Bassey, Iwobi, Millie Smith Rowe from Arsenal joining them. And Fulham, they are just that wonderful side. And now they have Abeola, the previous Madrid coach, coaching them now. And he has brought lots and lots of players from Madrid to join their side. We have Garcia joining them. And yeah, we want to see Everton, want to see Fulham doing great. They are decided to finish 8th, 10th in the season, and they are okay with it. And then we have the next, which is Hull City. So we're going to have a part 2 of Premier League football teams, and we're starting with Hull City. I hope you've enjoyed this video so far. This is the community. Please do not go anywhere and subscribe. See you in the next video soon. Peace.